Hello folks, in this one we're looking at driving abroad, the things that you need to look out for if you're taking your vehicle abroad, or indeed if you're just going abroad as a driver yourself. Some of these things apply to you, some apply to the driver, but I've got some really useful hints and tips for you in this one, and lots of useful links in the video description. Now, for a lot of countries, when you're driving abroad, you need your V5 certificate in the car with you. So that's your logbook, if you like, the V5C. If you lease your car, or indeed if it's a company car, then you need to get something from the lease company or from your employer. A lease company will usually provide you with a VE103B. That's essentially a copy V5 document that you can use when you're abroad. Your employer may give you the V5 to take away if the car's been purchased and not leased. If it is leased, they'll probably give you a VE103B, the same as your lease company would. They might also give you a letter saying that it's their car, but they authorising you to use the car abroad, blah, blah, blah. Now, on that kind of documentation, you'll need to know the dates you're travelling. You'll need your driving licence number, the address that's on your driving licence, all that kind of stuff. And you'll also need to list the countries you're actually travelling to. So if you're going to Holland, but you're passing through France and Belgium to get there, all those countries need to be listed. Next thing to do is to check your insurance. This is obviously if you're taking your own vehicle or a company vehicle or a lease vehicle abroad. So make sure your car insurance covers you for driving in European countries. It will usually be on the certificate of insurance as an extension on the certificate of insurance. If you're driving outside of the EU, you'll generally need to get a green card. So that means speaking to the insurers, telling them your dates of travel, the countries you're travelling through, and they should be able to give you a document that sorts that out for you, although it may come at an additional charge. By the way, not every UK car insurance policy covers you for fully comprehensive while you're driving in Europe anymore, so please do check your insurance policy properly. Next thing to do is to find out about low emission zones where you're driving. Lots of cities now have low emission zones, and some of them, it's really as soon as you enter the city limits, you're in that zone. If you're traveling in France, for example, and you want to go to certain cities, Lille, for example, I think has a clean air zone. You need a critic air sticker. It costs not very much, £4 or £5, and your car's sort of registered forevermore. However, other places have different rules, and sometimes you'll find different rules between different cities in the same country. Brussels, for example, might have different rules to Bruges. So it's worth looking into all this stuff before you travel, because something you can do in advance that might cost you a few quid could actually cost you a hell of a lot of money in fines if you don't do it. So plan, look for European clean air zones, make sure your car's compliant, and do whatever you need to meet that compliance. Normally means registering something online and them sending you through some kind of sticker to put in your window. Not the most arduous task, but something you should be thinking about. Next, make sure you've got the correct road safety equipment with you. If you travel over to France, you're supposed to have things like a warning triangle, high vis, spare bulbs, all these kind of things. You can get sort of universal, sort of generic EU driving packs on places like eBay and Amazon. I'll put a link to an AA one in Amazon that's pretty popular. RAC do them as well, but I'll put my Amazon link in. If you buy one through that, I'll earn about 12 pence. But every little helps, as Tesco say. But if you do get stopped and they check to see if you've got the minimum sort of road safety equipment required in that country and you don't have it, you could find yourself in a bit of bother. So worth investing 20, 30 quid, whatever it is, and taking the right stuff along with you. If you're traveling in the winter months, make sure the country you're going to doesn't have a requirement for winter tyres. Certain parts of Germany and Austria, I believe, have a requirement for winter tyres to be fitted to your car during the winter. So it's definitely worthwhile getting that checked before you travel. Check to see if you need an international driver's permit. Now, you don't need them in most EU countries. So if you're going to France, Spain, wherever, you won't need one, certainly at the time I'm recording this video. But there are plenty of countries where you do. Applying for one of these permits and obtaining one of these permits is generally not the end of the world, but again, it's something you need to do in advance. It only costs a few pounds if you do need one of these, and I'm going to put a link in the video description so you can check out for yourself if the country that you're travelling to and intending to drive in actually requires you to have an international driving permit. And I suppose the last one goes without saying, but make sure you understand the speed limits wherever you're traveling to. Our country, you know, gives you a fine and points on your license. Other countries do it differently. Some give you extremely heavy fines. Sometimes you have to be able to pay the fine at the roadside. So make sure you look into all the driving laws wherever you're going and understand them, and especially the speed side of things, because it can be very, very costly if you come a cropper in the wrong place. Hope you've enjoyed that one, folks. Just a quick video today because I know this is the time of year people start booking their holidays and things, and you need to get some of this stuff just done a little bit in advance. So forewarned is forearmed, as they say. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you on the next one.